Welcome to Logos Bible Software Tutorials, and today we are going to dive into a very unexplored, I think, area of searching within the Logos Bible software system. I'm going to pull out my preferred Bible, the ESV, and I'm going to click on search. The area that we're going to look at is this area called all text right here. But what I first want to show you, so there is Bible, and it has all Bible text. So I just want to go through some of this, and yours may be a little bit different than what mine is. These are all the different search things that I have. But in the search field here, that you have the surface text and the words of Christ. So I can limit my searches of my Bible searches to just be those within the search field. So by default, Logos is going to search all these by default. But where this may be helpful in all of these is your various highlighting. Where this might be helpful is where that I have highlighted a biblical passage, and maybe I remember a word that I have highlighted. So 9 times out of 10, when I choose to highlight something, I normally use this right here. So say, for instance, I'm just going to put an A in the asterisk, and I want to use the wild card of the asterisk. And it's going to search anything that I've highlighted something, and an A's in there. Now, so all these are ones that I have highlighted. So if I go into Joshua, these are all things that I have highlighted. Let's do something better. I don't use this because I just don't use it a lot. What you can use it more for is your books. Now, I want to show you. So when I click on all text, it still has everything here. So now I have these books that I have searched. I have searched a variety of things, and 9 times out of 10, I'm going to use the solid color. So I'm going to do the same thing I did before, and I'm just going to search. So these are from the various books that I have highlighted. And this can be useful, especially from a research perspective. So say, for instance, went through books, and I'm going to be writing on a given topic, and I need to reference back to something that I maybe have highlighted. I can do this search. As I come in over here, this is the highlight part. Now, what's great about this, a lot of the same operators that are used in every other search, the bowling, the within, all these others are still available with these as well. But let's kind of come back to the search fields. Now, I know this is long, and that may not be your best option for this search. But what I do want to show you is based on your book. So let's just say I'm going to pull up my journals. And I go into all text, and this is vastly smaller. So the reason is every book has a variety of different search fields that are available to you. What I might do in my journals, I'll do something like the description, and I'll type in a topic that I want to study. So, for example, let's talk about, I want to see which journals talk about the historical present. And I want to see which, so far, none of those are in. And the reason for the description is really, you would think that the description is discussing a description book, but it's not. It's like a description of a photo. Um, so if I were to search journals, then that gives me 991, but that may not, and that's just going to give me the alt text. So if I wanted to go into a heading text, yeah. So this is in the heading. It's going to talk about that the historical present. So if I was to click here, so that the heading text is really one of those bullet points of the main text. So this is the only one where I have where it talks about where that it's in one of these a heading type text. It's the only one I have. Let's just say go into large text. It's the same thing. So surface text is in your surface text is just your general text. That if I wanted to search in the title, there's nothing there. But these are also options for you that might limit my searches. What I'll often use is I'll do the footnote text. So one of the great things about the footnotes is they often have some very, very insightful information about the topic that you're studying, so that they're gonna, and even though, and we see here, so even though that it's used as an HP, that it has tagged that as the historical present. And if I would say in milestone Bible, and I want to see if it occurs in the book of Mark. Let's just say Mark 10. I probably would not use milestone, but I would say near, and I'm going to do Mark. Because I'm really searching for text. So there's one article, one in my journals that talk about that the historical present and its usage in Mark. So if I'm studying about the historical present, this is something I'm going to look into a bit. So if I click on here, and it gets into, so I may read more about this right here as I'm trying to understand the historical present. So these are all things in the theological journals. If I wanted to search the title of something, so if I wanted if it has love in the title, boom. And if I pull this up, what it really is pulling from is one of the header text. So if I was to search this over, it isn't a title per se how we would think of a title, but we would, so the title, we would think of this right here. So the title that is pulling up is The Love First, which is more of a subtitle. And these are all available in the theological journal. So if I was to switch this, and I want us to go back and these are all the ones for the search field. Now I can still search if you have highlighted anything. We can still search that within our journals. Next, let's switch this. This function is best to use with your collections. So say for instance, I want to pull up my commentaries. And boom, anytime love, but this is vastly too much resources. Even if I was to say love in milestone, Bible, as a general rule, I'm going to try to do this for where it populates. So we're going to look at John. We're going to look at John 3. Here we are. So where love is in the mouth. So that's 127 resources. That's still a lot. It's a lot to filter through. But what if I want to see only the ones on John 3:16? Where I have love in and milestone. Bible. I don't think it's going to search anything right here. I don't think it has the ability to search. So I'm going to put that in quotes. I don't think it has this search. It's only by book, by chapter. Well, yeah. So this limited down to a little bit more. But if I was going to my commentaries, and so right now in my commentaries, I have all these things that I have available to me. If I want to talk about a description, and let's just say I want the issue of love near John 3:16. So there's nothing where love is near John 3:16 in the description. If I was to talk about a comment, if I was to say a footnote. Now it does in one of my footnotes. In here, and these that are highlighted are talking about John 3:16 in regards to love. And it's one of the footnote texts. If I wanted to pull, say for instance, if the surface text is pretty much that the alt text, as we're going to see here. But this is a useful feature, and when I'm trying to limit my searches and I want to really zero in on something. What if I wanted to So this is what's going, this allows you to really search the footnotes. So let's kind of come over here and let's just say I want to go into my grammars. I have a lot of grammars. Says I have 414 books tagged with grammars. Now, not all of these are grammars, but there. Let's pull this one. And I limit it. So these are the only ones where it talks about love. But if I wanted to limit this down and say, for instance, I wanted to see, is there anything in the description? No. But I might want to look into the footnote text. But my grammars, I'm interested in other things, more specific. So historical present. So it brings up, this is a lot of resources. So let's just say, hey, is there anything in the description? No. If I wanted to see a footnote text. So here's the interesting thing. A lot of the sources that it pulled up are based on footnotes. So a lot of this information about the historical present is all in the footnotes. If I wanted to filter, say I don't want the footnotes, I want the surface text. So now all these are where it talks about. So it has 42 resources. So it's 466 results. So this is all in the surface text. And if I was to remove that, and if I was to come over here to the footnote text, so 178 of those are in that are just in the footnotes, and it allows me to dive a little bit deeper into some of these things, like where over Argentine, and I can look more that what it's talking about there. The footnote text. If I want to see the title, if there's some, so there's one where it talks about the historical present in the quote unquote title. So if I was to click on here, is it a title and once again, it's using this as more as a subtitle, not quote unquote a title as we would think about it. Because this is more like a the actual title probably, you're kind of, so each one of these is an instance right here. So each book has its own little searchable things that you can search. If I want to go to the heading text, there's nothing with a heading text, but it allows me to filter out the massive amounts of resources that I may have and really get down to some things that I may be more interested or less interested. And all those are based on your resources. I would use this more for in your collections, because as we saw when we're going to get rid of that, and we're just going to go into your books. The massive amount of things to choose from in the search field is unreal, because every book has its own search fields. Every type of book has its own search fields. If I was to, so say for instance, I don't think I have anything. Yeah, so I do have something in the mobile education courses. So what you're going to see here in the alt text is these are also has their own search field. So it talks about the historical present in these various resources. Now, this isn't something I think that you're going to use all the time, but I think this can be, once again, a tool in your toolbox so that when you are studying the scriptures, when you're diving deep into the various things of the Bible, that this is a tool that you can use to help you with your study. You have a wonderful day.